Hi, and welcome back to Animals 2 by 2, Goldfish and Guppies. And this is day 2, or lesson 2, in our week-long series on goldfish and guppies for grades K through. Okay, so by the end of the week, our objective for these lessons are that you'll be able to identify that fish have identifiable structures, that fish have basic needs, fish can change their environment, they identify fish behavior that is influenced by conditions in the environment. I want you to be able to know that each kind of fish has a unique structure and behavior. I want you to be aware that different kinds of fish have similar structures and behaviors as well as those different ones. Make sure that you're making observations of the natural world and know that there are descriptors collecting data using those 5 senses that you have. Use those 5 senses as tools, making those careful observations. So that means that we're going to be using our ears to hear, we're going to be using our eyes to see, we're going to be using those quite a bit. I want you to be able to raise questions about the natural world. Use appropriate reference material that support the understanding to obtain information. Identify the source and conduct both individual and team investigations through free exploration and systematic investigation, and generate appropriate explanations based on those explorations. Okay, guys, what you'll need, not too much. Hopefully you received your paper handouts yesterday from the Boys and Girls Club. You should receive page 4, 7, and 9. Today we're going to be looking at page 4. If you do not have these, feel free to just grab a piece of paper or something to write on, and you can draw it on that instead of using the paper handout. Also, it would be handy to have pencils, crayons, markers, whatever works best for you. We will be looking at the book 2 by 2 towards the end of this week. You do not have to have it today, but it would be good for you just to go ahead and have to make sure you know where it's located. Okay, so vocabulary. I'm not going to go over the whole list today, but I do want to go over those words that we will be using in this lesson. Remember, vocabulary are those important words that I want you to be looking and listening out for. The first one we're going to look at is goldfish. A goldfish is a small, usually golden yellow or orange fish that's often kept in aquariums or ponds. Another one is guppies. Guppies, they are small tropical fish, often kept in aquariums as those pet fish. And of course, an aquarium. An aquarium is a container, as in like a tank or a bowl, in which fish and other water animals and plants can live. Oh, a fin. A fin is a thin, flat body part of a fish that certain other water animals in which they use it for swimming or balance. The fish's fins can help it travel through the water. Tail. That's the rear part of an animal, or usually slender, flexible growth that extends from the back part of their body. Gills. Gills are an organ, as in fish gills, for taking in oxygen from the water. Investigation, goldfish and guppies. So we're really going to get started today into our lessons. Yesterday was a bit of an introduction. Today we're going to look into what body parts, what make up these goldfish and these guppies, what makes them alike and what makes them different. Obviously in this picture here, we can see quite a bit of identifiable features in their bodies, just looking at the different silhouettes. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is goldfish. And common goldfish are usually bright orange, but they can be white, black, or multicolored. The stock from which they are derived is a flat, tan, gray, and occasionally you'll find even a native color fish among the feeders. It's impossible to tell the males and females apart unless, of course, you are a goldfish. Goldfish need quite a bit of space. You should not put more than 3 goldfish in a basin aquarium. You may have heard the rule that 1 gallon of water per goldfish. You should be able to put 6 to 8 guppies in a basin. They're a little different. So looking at these goldfish, I want you to notice their features. Be thinking about, can I see the eyes? Can I see the fins, the mouth, the tail, the gills? Be paying attention to how many fins you actually see and where they're at or located on the body. Do all of these fish look the same? Are they alike? Well, how are they different? Is one smaller or larger? I want you to be observing the eyes, fins, and tails and the things that you see on these goldfish. Okay. Take one last look at the goldfish. And now we're going to look at the guppies. Okay, oh, there's a very good close-up. While I have that there, I want you to look really closely at what's looking a little different about this. Notice where the eyes, the fins, the gills, the scales are located in the mouth of the fish. Guppies are small fish that bear live young. The feeder guppy females are larger and usually a uniform beige or silver gray. Their abdomens become quite large when they are graved or carrying young. The males are smaller and have longer, flowing tails. Males are the ones with the spots of multiple colors. Fancy guppies that have been bred for showy colors can be dazzling. You can see a few here that have more vivid color. Goldfish and guppies are among the hardiest aquarium fish and the easiest to care for. You can have fun observing their behavior and caring for them for hours. Although they are easy to care for, there are some things that you should keep in mind to ensure success with the fish in the aquarium. And we're going to look more into what it takes to care for these animals tomorrow. But right now, as you're looking at the things they have, it'll help us go into the things that they need tomorrow. So make sure that you're observing what their body parts look like. Can you tell which end is the head and which is the tail? What is the shape of their body? And what body parts can we easily identify? All right, guys. Parts of a goldfish. All right. going to let you look at this really quickly before we fill out our own page. On this page, I want you to look, pay as close attention as you can, because I'm not going to have this up on the next slide. We're really going to try to do it together. So I'm going to look at the end, at the back of the fish on the left side. That is a fin, the Claudio fin. On that is the one that's really what we would call the tail. And that is what's going to move or project the fish. They use it to swim along. Then towards the top, or above the actual fish, you'll see the fin. That's actually called the dorsal fin, and they also use that to guide through. If you look towards the middle of the fish, you'll see the scales. With us being from a rural community out here with our beaches, and a lot of us fish in our free time, we're aware and are really accustomed to what a scale looks like, but they're going to be a little smaller, look a little differently on a goldfish. And then, of course, on the right, or the head of the fish, you'll see the eye. That one is pretty clearly marked, the eye of the fish. Right in front of that and down a little, you'll see the mouth of the fish. We could see that while they were moving and pulling in water in the video. Then we have the gills. Right behind the eye are the gills. Now remember, we said that gills pull in the water, and they actually help get the oxygen out of the water so that the fish can breathe. Then on the bottom, you're going to see a lot more fins, because what do fish do? They swim around all day, and they really need these fins to propel them forward and really get them where they need to go for directional purposes. Go ahead and grab your paper. I went ahead and wrote my name on the top, as we always do in class, and I went ahead and colored my goldfish just so it would show up a little better on camera. You do not have to color your goldfish. It was just to be a little helpful to you guys. Now on this page, I really want you to be thinking about the parts of a goldfish, because we're going to draw them on there. Think about those vocabulary words that I said we're going to be using today, such as fin, gills, tail. Then you have your eyes, your scales, mouth. I'm going to give you just a second to go ahead and begin on that, and let's see if maybe we drew the same things and if we placed them in the same area. Now remember, like always, I am not an artist, I am a teacher. So we are looking for correct names of things and positions, not how wonderful they look. Okay, you guys should have had a minute to get started by now. Let's take a look. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I first started with the eye. That way I can easily identify where the head of the fish is. Then I started with my smile or my mouth of my fish. And then I'm going to draw his gills, because I need my fish to be able to see, eat, and breathe. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my fin. Now, like I said, I'm not an artist, but I do know that he needs that fin to move and get directionally around. There's my scales. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to draw those bottom fins. Remember, some are going to be kind of on the side and some are below, making sure that he can swim and go right to left. And then, of course, what is this back area? That is our tail. Now, on the bottom, I want you to use those vocabulary words to write me a sentence or two about a goldfish. What are the body parts that you know? I wrote a sample one, but that is not something that you have to do. Write what you want. What's your favorite part of a goldfish? What did you observe first? When you were looking at those fish swim in the tank, what did you notice about them? What did you use your eyes, that sense of sight, to see? Make sure that when you're writing, you're really following those writing rules. Capital letter at the beginning, going from the ceiling to the floor. For my kindergartners that are practicing, you can tell we've been out of school a little bit. So I'm writing a goldfish. has a, oh, what do you think it is? Fin. Good job. Oh, and so a goldfish has a fin and what, an eye? Oh, what do you think it is? Oh, could it be a tail? And gills. A goldfish has a fin and gills. Yeah, it does. You could write about anything that is a body part of that fish, that goldfish. I just want you to be making notes so that we know that you've understood what you've seen. Okay, so guys, stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to be looking at lesson 3 where you'll discover what goldfish need to live. Please make sure you have your page 7 ready. And I'm so excited for you guys to come back and let's work on this some more tomorrow.